find his falling sounds funny. Sue me. Hey! I assume that you read the title of the video. So I'll firstly gotta say, this is part of this series. First video shall be written down below. In that video, we found ourselves a bio to use to cross-reference between each one of the games. Go ahead and watch that if you didn't see it. Today we're gonna focus only on the classic Sonic. Otherwise, enjoy! I'm gonna be honest. Classic Sonic has never really sparked anything with me. I love the Sonic franchise, as I do. I do enjoy the classic Sonic games, but they never left a real impact for me. You know what I mean? Well, either way, they should be technically the same exact Sonic, just different points of the timeline now that they're trying to piece everything together. So we'll just see what happens. Also, to make my life easier, I'm gonna be using this video made by Para695 in order to make my life a bit easier while creating this video. It's no fun searching the internet for the right manuals and the right information and whatnot. If facts are wrong there, they might end up being wrong in here too, and I'll apologize for that now. I'll link it down in the bio. Now let's get rolling. Alright, first things first, I thought a good place to check is the Sonic the Hedgehog original story and character profiles that was released to Sega of America for Sonic Jam. It was also re-released for Sonic Adventures 2 Birthday Pack's history book, believe it or not. At least that's what it says on the Sonic Retro website. Let's bring our eyes to the character outline down below of Sonic the Hedgehog. And then after that, we'll probably look at the Sonic story before we start comparing with our own bio of the character. Oh yeah, before we begin, I gotta say that this is all translated from the Japanese copies, the original Prime source. Okay, so he's written down as 18, but supposedly it's really hard to tell. Translating is hard for effect. Like, it was difficult when I had to translate the Sonic Q&A. It's also stated here that he's a legendary blue hedgehog with attitude. He's the fastest in the land, strong sense of justice, but doesn't care for authority, impatient, not detail-oriented, likes anything fast, loyal to his friends, but enjoys his independence, street smart, but warm at heart, loves beauty, nature, cool music, and adventure. Not a hero, but has a lots of self-confidence and courage. But all else, he is fast. Okay, first off, we can mark off the age, because age is absolutely not canon in the Sonic universe. We'll just label him as teen. Because that's literally the best thing we can do throughout the entire franchise. If you look at any Sonic game and any scene, you can easily tell that ages do not matter. Like, in Amy's case, she's supposed to be 12 in Sonic Adventure, but we do see her carrying groceries home, which confuses a few things about that age. Now let's move on to Sonic's origin story. I will state that I am not gonna read this out loud. I already did in the original Sonic video, which I'm turning into this series. And I believe that disoriented a lot of people from watching the whole video. So please read this yourself or go back to that video for the read. I will probably only do a quick summary here real quick, and that's about it. Sounds good? Awesome. In the 1940s, a children's author, Mary Gannett, often wrote stories about a heroic hedgehog named Sonic, inspired by her husband, a U.S. Air Force test pilot nicknamed Hedgehog because of his spiky hair. His secret project, Blue Gale, aimed to break the sound barrier, but he tragically died in a plane explosion during test before Chuck Yeager's history flight in 1947. The only thing that remained was his jacket. Decades later, a woman named Meg, visiting in the air show, finds this same exact old flight jacket in an antique shop and buys it. She wears it, and with an odd sense of safety. Then she goes to an air show where a crash occurs and Meg is caught up in the explosion. She passes out, only to wake up miles away unharmed through the jacket's emblem, though the jacket's emblem is mysteriously gone. Later, while developing the photos, Meg discovers an image of a blurry figure with red shoes. Later, when developing her photos, Meg discovers an image of a blurry figure with red shoes and white stripe, implying that Sonic himself saved her. Yes, I did write this all down in a notepad on my phone. Just to read out loud for this. Sorry if it's a little scrappy. Anyway, what are our main takeaways from this story? Sonic was made from pure imagination, love, and care. Which is interesting that Sonic Team chose this as his origin. Don't you think? This shows Sonic as a guardian spirit, representing how courage and kindness echoes, in a way. And maybe that Sonic's real power is belief. He exists wherever hope and imagination meet. The line between story and reality disappears when the message of courage becomes real to us. Becomes real through us, maybe even. This story is strange, is it not? Like, when you think of a mascot or a character from a fictional cartoon animal world, you don't exactly expect mythology, mythos, spirits, kami, all that. But they decide to symbolize Sonic as a being that's born from us, rather than being a character in his own right. Which is interesting. This is how the classic games portrayed him, and we didn't even notice. Thanks to Sega of America, of course. Now, how does this relate to classic Sonic's character traits given before? Well, Sonic's speed comes from heroism and pushing limits like Chuck did in his plane. Justice comes from the legacy of the event. Independence comes from wind and freedom. Heart comes from human love, lust, and imagination. And his attitude comes from a pilot who refused to slow down. All combining to become the hedgehog we know today. These traits, this story, they were used for Sonic Jam, a collection of the original 4 classic Sonic games. Which means that this story, this way of thinking, was used throughout each single game. Which also makes it the most purest origin we can find. So let's go compare! Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1! Ha! So, this is what brain rot feels like. Now, both bios agree on a few things. Sonic's free, brave, kind, confident, adventure-loving, protective, and always moving forward. But the only difference is in tone, not the personality foundation, from what I'm noticing between them. My bio is emotional and poetic. That might just be a result of me being a writer. But Sonic in the Sonic X show is a bit more on the calmer side than what we see in the classic Sonic games. Now for classic Sonic, his bio is more energetic and attitude-driven, which reflects the 90s perfectly, but it also feels scrappy and loosely put together, which may be more reflective of the classic games, it's a bit. Because back then, they didn't really need to express so many traits. Yes, Sonic was pretty expressive compared to Mario back then, but again, they didn't need to use too many traits. There's a reason why the stories are the way they are back then, being all simplistic and whatnot. Sega weren't exactly focused on the story because their main goal was to sell the console. They were a hardware-first company back then. They only focused on advancing technology. They didn't really care for video games much back then. And Sonic was just a tool to sell the product. They stated so many times. Sonic Team themselves, though, they definitely went creative with it. Like, they created the idea of Sonic the Hedgehog in the first place. But even back then, they had a lot of limitations by Sega in order to speed up the process of launching the game. Or games. It's clear now that this is more of a foundation for what Sonic became. Which is honestly very obvious, like first couple of games versus an entire 35-year-old franchise. Yeah, of course they were concepting at first. And this was just the backbone. Both bios have this one thing connecting to them. Sonic is a free spirit whose kindness, courage, and love for adventure makes him a beacon of hope to everyone he meets. That's still the case. That'll always be the case. Just the only differences between the two is that classic Sonic teaches through his story, his legend, his myth, of this fact, rather than his bio. While my bio expresses it freely. Which is very fascinating. Because of these reasons, I believe that my bio lives on for another day. No changes needed. But we'll see what the future has to say. And of course, what you have to say about it. First off, I'm still a little stunned. I did not expect to reach halfway to my goal. That's insane. Like, when I posted the honesty video, I was just logging. Making sure that people know what up if they see my channel, like, a year from now. But literally straight after that, the next morning, I see episode 1 just burst with views. Boom. Like, One of you gotta be a wizard. One of you really gotta be a wizard at this point. One of you must be a wizard that just really liked the video and thought, okay, I'm gonna summon a bunch more of myself. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Thank you for the support. Like, it's greatly appreciated. I'm going through tough times right now, but that's... I don't know. I've gained a lot of hope. I'm really excited for the future now. And I just cannot wait to see what happens next. Thank you guys so much. Anyway, just so you guys know, I plan on posting every Saturday or Sunday, just the weekends, and working on the videos throughout the weekdays. I'll try to post weekly. Sorry if the video felt a little rushed. I didn't expect to make it when I posted the honesty video. So I might have rushed myself a itsy bit. And if for some reason you haven't, hey, like and subscribe. Please and thank you. Hoping to reach 500. And meow. The world never really stops, you know? Even when everything feels like it's standing still. The wind's still blowing, the stars are still shining, and somewhere out there, someone's still running. That's why I don't quit. Because as long as I keep moving, maybe, just maybe, the world will keep moving with me.